This is the Focus Shift podcast, your best listening experience for creating your best online business. We'll focus on topics that help you get discovered. So sit back, listen, take notes if you like, and get excited about growing your business.
Right now, there is a local business owner in your town who is, well, objectively worse at what they do than you are.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Like their product is a little more generic, their customer service is lacking, and their actual skill level just isn't anywhere near yours.
But their calendar is completely booked.
Exactly. While you are sitting there staring at a blinking cursor on a blank white screen, wondering where the next client is even coming from. And why is that? Because they have figured out how to make algorithms work for them while they sleep. And you are, still treating online marketing like this exhausting manual chore.
It is honestly the ultimate frustration for anyone running a service business today. You spend years mastering your craft, but the digital ecosystem, it doesn't reward the best practitioner, it rewards the most visible one.
Right.
And maintaining that visibility usually requires a skill set completely divorced from what you actually do for a living.
Which is exactly why we are taking this deep dive today. And if you are listening to this on your commute or maybe while you're walking the dog, we are thrilled to have you as the vital third mind in this conversation. Our mission today is to completely flip that frustrating script.
That's a fun mission.
It is. We are going to look at how to take the most dreaded, friction-heavy business chore imaginable, which is blogging for search engines, and turn it into an automated, highly structured, client-generating machine.
And we are pulling our insights today from a pair of really highly detailed articles published in April 2026 by the PhotoBiz Growth Hub. Now, the sources use the photography industry as their testing ground.
And this is important.
Yeah, very important. The underlying mechanics we're about to discuss, the search algorithms, the consumer psychology, the AI integration, they apply to absolutely any local service-based business, a plumber, a boutique bakery, an independent financial advisor. The digital ecosystem treats the underlying data exactly the same way.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the core problem here is really one of modern survival. Everyone knows they should have a blog to help with SEO, search engine optimization. But, if you're a landscaper, you are out there laying sod and managing crews all day.
Right.
If you're a photographer, you're shooting sessions and color correcting thousands of images. Finding the time to just sit down and write a localized, keyword-optimized article, it feels downright impossible.
It feels like a luxury you don't have.
Exactly. But a lack of time isn't actually what kills the marketing effort. We see people making time, but they do it wrong. The real algorithm killer is the boom and bust cycle.
Oh, the boom and bust cycle is incredibly damaging to your search ranking. What usually happens is a business owner panics, drinks 3 cups of coffee, writes 4 completely disjointed blog posts in a single weekend, and then abandons the website for 8 months.
It's a ghost town.
It is. And to understand why that fails, we have to look at the nuts and bolts of how modern search engines index information now. They don't just scan for keywords anymore. They evaluate a site's pulse.
Right. The days of hiding the word, wedding photographer Chicago 50 times in invisible white text at the bottom of a homepage are long gone.
Oh, yeah. The algorithms will penalize you into oblivion for that now.
Wow. So what do they actually look for?
Well, according to the HubSpot data cited in our sources, search engines operate on a framework called EEAT. That stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
Okay, EEAT.
Right. When a potential client types a query into a search bar, the engine's primary goal isn't just to match vocabulary anymore. Its goal is to provide a genuinely helpful answer from a highly reputable human source.
I want to pause right there because I hear acronyms like EEAT thrown around all the time.
Right.
But how does a machine learning algorithm actually measure something as abstract as human experience? It doesn't have eyes. It can't look at a photo and say, wow, this person is really experienced.
That's a great question. It does it through natural language processing and semantic clusters.
Semantic clusters.
Yeah. The algorithm looks for first-hand identifiers within the text. So if a generic travel site writes an article about a local park, it might say, this park has beautiful trees in the autumn.
Pretty standard.
Right. But if a local expert writes it, their text contains hyper-specific lived experience markers. They might write, because the tree line on the western ridge blocks the sun by 4:30 p.m. in October, you have to position your subjects near the lake to catch the final reflection of golden hour.
Oh, wow.
See the difference? The algorithm recognizes those nuanced, highly specific semantic clusters as genuine lived experience.
That makes perfect sense. It's looking for the depth of the details, and I imagine that's exactly why static homepages are losing out to dynamic blogs. I mean, a static homepage is essentially just a digital business card. It just says, "Hi, I'm a consultant. Here's my phone number." It doesn't prove any lived experience at all.
Exactly. It proves existence, but not expertise. Search engines treat active, detailed blog posts as signals of relevance and breadth. They actually reward rich content with special search features.
Like what?
You know when you see those snippet boxes at the very top of a search result page? Or the drop-down FAQ sections or those localized business blocks?
Yeah, all the time.
Those aren't pulled from static homepages. They are scraped directly from deep, authoritative blog posts.
And this ties perfectly into how consumer behavior has shifted. The sources highlight that clients are using incredibly hyper-specific, localized search intents now. Someone isn't just typing photographer into their phone anymore.
No, not at all.
They're typing, like, what to wear for an outdoor fall maternity session in the mountains, or best senior portrait locations near me that allow dogs.
Those are high-intent queries.
Hmm.
The person typing that isn't just browsing. They have a specific problem they need solved immediately. If your website lacks content directly answering those highly nuanced questions, the search engine simply bypasses you. It serves up your competitor who actually took the time to explain the answer.
But this brings us right back to the friction. Because you're telling me I need to write deeply detailed, highly specific articles proving my lived experience, and I have to do it without ever taking an 8-month break.
Right.
I mean, here's where it gets really interesting. The real bottleneck isn't knowing what to write.
Right.
It's maintaining consistency. It's not throwing spaghetti at a wall, it's doing it week after week.
What's fascinating here is how each new post creates a unique chance to rank. The algorithm actually rewards a continuous drumbeat of fresh content, which is why consistency always beats random high-volume posting. And the sources argue that we shouldn't view these blog posts as fleeting social media updates anyway. We need to view them as digital real estate.
Oh, I love that distinction. A social media post has a lifespan of about, 24 hours?
Yeah.
Before it's just buried in the feed forever?
Exactly. And a paid digital ad disappears the absolute second your credit card stops running.
Yeah.
That's just digital rent. But an SEO-optimized article answering a specific local question. That's digital real estate. You build it once, and it sits there, permanently catching organic traffic for years.
It is a compounding asset. So, okay, we've established the stakes here. The algorithm demands a steady diet of EEAT content, but the human business owner is exhausted staring at a blank page, and they usually lack the technical SEO knowledge to even structure the metadata, the H1 tags, the URL slugs, all that stuff. So how do we remove that friction? Well, according to the sources, the answer is niche-specific AI.
Yes. The technological leap we've seen in recent years completely changes the operational reality for small businesses. The sources specifically introduced the PhotoBiz AI blog creator, which is a tool integrated directly into their website platform.
Now, I want to clarify something for you listening. This isn't like opening a generic chatbot, staring at a blank prompt box, and trying to become a prompt engineer just to coax a decent article out of it.
Yeah.
This is an AI trained specifically on the architecture of this particular niche.
And that specialization is what makes it functional rather than frustrating. A generic AI requires endless prompting to understand the nuance of local service businesses.
Right.
But a niche AI already knows what a mini session is. It already understands the common pain points of local clients.
Right.
You just give it a localized topic like top wedding venues in Asheville this spring, and it handles the heavy lifting. It outlines the structure, creates the SEO metadata, organizes the headings, and seamlessly integrates the localized keywords search engines want to see.
But wait, I have to push back here.
Okay, go for it.
We literally just spent the first part of this deep dive talking about how Google's algorithm demands experience and expertise. Is using AI for your blog like serving a microwave dinner at a dinner party and pretending you cooked it? Doesn't this completely ruin the experience part of EET? I mean, won't a local business get penalized for spam?
It is a totally valid concern, and there is a massive difference between unedited AI spam and AI-assisted structural drafting. Google doesn't penalize the use of AI. It penalizes content that lacks human value. If we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to look at the AI not as the author, but as the architect.
Okay, walk me through that. AI as the architect.
Think about building a house. The part of blogging that paralyzes business owners isn't talking about their actual work. It's the invisible structural engineering. Like, what should the title tag be? How many times should I use this city name? Should this be an H2 or an H3 heading?
Yeah, the stuff that makes people's eyes glaze over.
Exactly. The AI handles that structural math. It frames the house, installs the plumbing, runs the electrical wire. It hands you a technically flawless, search-ready draft. But if you just publish that draft as is, yes, it's a sterile, empty house. It's a microwave dinner.
So the workflow actually requires you to move into the house and decorate it yourself.
Precisely. The workflow explicitly calls for the human creator to take that draft and inject their lived experience. You add your specific anecdotes about how the lighting behaved at that venue. You embed your own professional images. You adjust the tone so it sounds like you.
So you are pouring your human experience into a structurally perfect SEO vehicle that the AI built for you.
Yes. Even writing just 1 or 2 posts a month this way creates compounding discovery points on Google.
That significantly lowers the barrier to entry. It gets you from 0 to 80% instantly. And you only have to spend your limited energy on that final 20%, the part that actually requires your unique human perspective.
And that final 20% satisfies the search engine's demand for genuine expertise, while the AI's 80% ensures the algorithm actually finds the page in the first place.
Okay, so we've solved the technology problem. The AI can build the house in seconds. But if you just tell an AI to generate random topics, you're really just creating a faster pile of random posts. AI without a blueprint is useless. We still need a strategy.
Completely. And the sources outline a very specific methodology for this, called the 4 content pillars.
Let's get into this because this is where the actual client-generating machine is built. If your blog doesn't have a structured framework, it's basically just a diary.
Right. The 4 pillars are repeatable categories designed to intercept a potential client at different psychological stages of their journey.
Let's break these pillars down. And, I like to think about this like dating.
Okay, dating. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So pillar 1 is the introduction. It is search-based content. The sole purpose here is to cast a wide net and get found by strangers. These posts answer broad, location-specific queries, traffic drivers.
Right. So this is the best photo locations in Chicago or top 5 tax deductions for small businesses in Ohio. You're capturing people who don't know who you are yet. They're just looking for general geographic information. You're saying hello.
Exactly. But you can't just say hello and leave it at that. Which brings us to pillar 2, educational content. The goal here is to build trust by proactively answering real client questions and soothing their anxieties.
This is the getting to know you phase. The sources give examples like, what if my kids don't behave during a session? Or do I need professional hair and makeup? If you answer that, you instantly shift from being just a random vendor to being a trusted authority.
You're showing them you understand their worries. So once they trust you, we move to pillar 3, portfolio and story content. This is creating connection. And there is a critical distinction here. This is not just posting a gallery of pretty pictures.
Oh, definitely not. Just showing a nice photo doesn't explain what it feels like to actually work with you.
Right. Pillar 3 requires a narrative. You show the images, but you wrap them in a story. You explain why the client was nervous, how you guided them, why you chose a specific background. You're providing context so the reader can mentally picture themselves working with you. You're deepening the relationship.
Which leads perfectly into pillar 4, authority and conversion content. This is driving action.
The proposal.
Yes, the proposal. You've built the trust, created the connection. Now you must tell them exactly how to hire you. Posts like, how far in advance should you book?
Right. You are creating urgency and providing a clear call to action because you can't just walk up to someone on the first date and propose. You have to go through the steps.
And this raises an important question because most businesses stumble terribly here. They concentrate solely on showcasing their portfolio pillar 3 and completely ignore the rest of the funnel. They ignore the introduction, they skip building trust, and they never explicitly ask for the sale.
It's crazy, but by using all 4 pillars, you are respecting the psychology of the consumer. You're walking them naturally from a curious stranger to an interested reader to a trusting prospect to a paying client.
And the real power of this system is realized when we actually operationalize it. We have the AI to eliminate the friction of writing and the 4 pillars to provide the blueprint. But what does this actually look like on a calendar for a busy owner?
Okay, the sources provide a 4-week monthly workflow that is beautifully simple. Let's actually visualize this by tracking a hypothetical client. Let's imagine a local dad named Marcus. It's early September, and his wife has tasked him with figuring out fall family photos, which, let's be honest, he is dreading.
Absolutely dreading. So we start our curation schedule with week 1, which focuses on pillar 1, search. You've used your niche AI to generate an article titled Top 5 Family Photo Locations in Charlotte, NC.
Marcus Googles exactly that. He finds your article, he likes your suggestions. Now he's on your website, he's been introduced. But Marcus is stressed because his 3-year-old is notoriously uncooperative.
Which is why week 2 of your calendar is Pillar 2, education. Your AI drafted an article called What to Wear for Your Family Photo Session and How to Handle Energetic Kids. Marcus clicks on it. You explain your patient approach, how you use games instead of rigid posing. You have just neutralized his primary objection.
He now trusts you. Moving to week 3, the Pillar 3, story content. You publish an article called A Golden Hour Maternity Session at Freedom Park, or maybe a family session.
All right, this is the emotional anchor. Marcus reads the story of another family whose toddler was running wild, but your photos captured beautiful, candid joy amidst the chaos. Marcus projects his own family into that narrative.
And finally, week 4 drops. Pillar 4, conversion. When should you book your fall family photos?
You've introduced urgency. The post explicitly states your remaining availability and provides a direct booking link. Marcus has been guided from a generic geographic search to a trusting buyer in a matter of weeks.
So what does this all mean? The ultimate takeaway from these sources is that consistency layered with structure completely beats high volume without direction. Posting just 4 times a month using this framework creates a full client journey every single month.
And bringing it back to you, the listener. Whether you are a photographer, a consultant, or a local baker, integrating defined themes with AI turns your website from a digital brochure into a daily marketing powerhouse.
It handles the heavy lifting of lead generation while you focus on the work you love. To summarize our deep dive today, we started by uncovering why search algorithms crave localized EEET content.
We then explored how niche-specific AI tools conquer the consistency bottleneck. By acting as the structural architect, AI eliminates the terror of the blank page, allowing you to just inject your final 20% of human expertise.
And finally, we mapped out a foolproof 4-pillar content strategy. By guiding a reader through search, education, story, and conversion, you're turning organic traffic into actual revenue.
It is arguably the most effective operational system for local digital marketing today. But it leaves us with a rather profound question to mull over.
Oh, I like where this is going.
If AI makes generating perfectly structured, hyper-local, SEO-optimized content virtually effortless for everyone, what happens to local SEO in 5 years when every single photographer or baker or consultant in your city is flawlessly executing this exact same 4-pillar AI strategy? How will search engines, and more importantly clients, distinguish the true masters when everyone has a perfect AI-generated blog?
Wow. That is a wild thought to leave on. When the playing field of structural SEO is completely leveled, maybe that human element, the messy, beautiful, lived experience details you inject into that final 20%, will eventually become the absolute only metric that matters. We will have to wait and see. Thank you so much for taking this deep dive with us today. Remember, stay curious, keep learning, and we'll catch you next time.
The Focus Shift podcast is presented by PhotoBiz, the best website solution for photographers. Whether you're launching your site or scaling your online business, PhotoBiz has your back. To get started for free, visit photobiz.com today.